In the last video, we discussed the Adam and Eve double bottom reversal pattern, which, well, since we put out that video, which was about right here, we did get the breakout to the upside we were looking for, but to confirm an Adam and Eve pattern, not only do you have to get the breakout, but you also have to have that retest with, and hold that previous resistance as new support, which clearly did not happen. We failed it, and we've just seen relentless dumping, relentless selling to the downside. So what once looked like an Adam and Eve now kind of looks more like a McDonald's M of doom. Looking at this upward sloping trend line, we also couldn't even hold that, right? We had this trend line here, and not even that was able to hold. Definitely some weakness showing in the market. And on Twitter, I was talking about how if we can't hold this trend line, it's going to get ugly. And well, we're not holding the trend line. We're actually falling below it. We go to the daily chart for Bitcoin and we look at just what has been happening here. Every time we find a bottom with higher lows, it just fails. We just get dumped on. And this pattern really looks now at this point no different than the previous pattern. Where could we go, right? How low could Bitcoin go on this breakdown here? And that's what we're going to talk about today. So what we're seeing right now is the overall market's tumbling, right? Stocks are also heading lower ahead of the CPI data release. The US dollar now reaches a 20-year high in parity with the euro. So the euro is, 1-to-1 with the US dollar. The DXY, the US dollar index, is going absolutely parabolic right now. And if you look at the US dollar index, let's go to the weekly time scale. I just want to mention this real quick. When the US dollar index finds a top and starts trending down, that's when our bull markets take place, right? But once the US dollar index finds a low, the bear markets, of course, begin. And it's bad, of course, that the US dollar index is heading up right now. It's not helping our case for the Bitcoin bulls. But, when something is going parabolic like this, it's usually going to top out, at some point in the not so distant future. It could take a few more weeks to actually reach a high with a rejection. And it's always, of course, it's not a good idea to bet against something that has momentum. And right now, well, the DXY has the momentum here. And until we get clear signs of a reversal, we just got to be mindful of the fact that the DXY has the momentum, and we got to wait for the actual reversal to take place, right? But the good news is that once that reversal happens, that is usually when we see the uptrends begin. So, right now we're just in the midst of the parabola for the DXY. We'll be looking out for that reversal. And with Bitcoin so low right now, and with the pi cycle cross so close, I could see this happening at some point soon. I can't call it yet because, again, there's no reversal signal just yet. But once we do get a reversal in the DXY, however long that may take, if we get that, if we get the pi cycle cross, if we get Bitcoin to touch, if we get Bitcoin to basically follow this breakdown continuation pattern and touch a new low, with all of those things, happening at the same time, then maybe we could be confident in a bottom, right? And so far, the market hasn't been satisfied with any of these bottom zones. And what may need to happen is a major wick down, right? Huge wick down with huge weekly volume. And then maybe the market would be satisfied at that, right? And if you take your fibs from low to high, we do have some. So by the way, the fibs have been quite helpful here. If you just take a look, let me just remove this and show you. The market has been following these fibs so far. From this low to this high, we have actually touched the 1272 directly right there. That was actually the downside target. So what we could do is just take our fibs. If we're, again, if this breakdown pattern is going to continue, what we could do is look for downside targets using the fibs, which means that if we do break down, we could see at least a test to the low, 17.5. If we break down below that, 16,300 is a potential target that we discussed, or 16,200, 300, somewhere right around that fib right there, the 1272, and as low as 14,500, right? That is possible as well at this point. And again, a major wick down with a bounce up with, at the same time, a reversal in the DXY with a pi cycle cross. That's when that's when things are starting to shape up more like a bottom. And we're close, but we're not necessarily there yet. But again, I still think we're at least close to the bottom. And if you're looking at the PUL multiple, which is calculating the profitability of miners while they are at a max pain zone, and this is usually at least near the bottom. Yeah, we could see more downside here for the PUL multiple, but at least close, right? We're in that max pain territory, right? So yeah, I mean, there are some things we need to see first before we can really say bottom is confirmed and in. But just remember that the miners are in maximum pain here. And also the MVRV Z-score, which has been one of the most reliable signals or on-chain metrics, is also sitting in that historic bottom range. So yeah, I mean, I would probably at this point like to see some sort of major wick down to really just punctuate the end of this dump. Give time for the DXY to get that top we want to see. And once we get some sort of like weekly reversal here, that's when we can be a little bit more confident that we're putting in a low. Because as long as the DXY is just pumping to the moon, it's not going to be easy to find a bottom for Bitcoin. So those are kind of all the things that I'm looking out for right now for Bitcoin. It's pretty unfortunate how bad this bear market has gotten. I'm not sure how many people really expected this type of environment, but it looks like we may be going down for a yet another breakdown here for Bitcoin. Just getting that continuation. And again, look out for that pi cycle cross. We are close. We are pretty close, right? Guys, thank you for watching this video. And if you want to support the channel, check out my website. We also got sign up bonus links. I use Kraken for staking. I got my 31th stake there. I've already earned 2.6 Ethereum from Kraken staking. You can stake a lot of coins here. And also the BETTOGH exchange, a new exchange I've been using, which is registered in the US and no KYC. So that's good for US users. If you guys want that, definitely go to the website, use the link to support my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.